Hi everyone, this video is on exercise 12G question 2. So in this question, we want to find the values of x for which f of x is a decreasing function. Let me remind you that a function is decreasing when its first derivative is less than or equal to 0. So in this case, we first need to find the first derivative of the function. So the first derivative of f of x is equal to 2x minus 9. Now, a function is again decreasing if its first derivative is less than or equal to 0. So that means f dash x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, now we just need to solve this inequality. So we are going to have 2x minus 9 is less than or equal to 0, which means 2x is less than or equal to 9, and we divide both sides by 2, so we get x is less than or equal to 9 over 2. Okay, so this means f of x is decreasing for all the values of x that are less than or equal to 9 over 2. Right, now let's do part G. So this time we have the function x to the power of a half plus 9x to the power of minus half. Again, the approach is the same. So we first find the first derivative. We have half x to the power of minus a half, and then here becomes minus 9 over 2 times x to the power of minus 3 over 2. Right. Now we want to solve the inequality that f dash x is less than or equal to 0. Right. We have half x to the power of minus a half minus 9 over 2 x to the power of minus 3 over 2 is less than or equal to 0. So let's take a factor of half x to the power of minus 3 over 2, and so we have this. So this is going to give us something interesting for this question. So one of the terms here is going to be x, and the second term is minus 9. So this is less than or equal to 0. But here is a very important step, because when we want to solve the inequality, we should be aware of the restrictions. Because if you look at the function at the beginning, what we know is that, so we have, x to the power of a half, and then 9x to the power of minus a half. So let me rewrite this, because this function can be written as a square root of x plus 9 over square root of x. And the interesting thing about this function is that this function is not defined for all the values of x. So the domain of x is when x is positive, right? Because you can't have a negative x, because you can't have, square root of negative numbers. So this is undefined for negative x values. And it is also undefined for 0, because you have this on the denominator. So that means the domain of f of x is greater than 0. So that is useful for this inequality, because if you want to solve this inequality, you could also say that, okay, 0 is one of the solutions of this inequality. But actually we exclude that, and the only solution of the inequality is just, x minus 9 is less than or equal to 0, which gives us the value that x is less than or equal to 0. But we should state that f of x is decreasing when we have this interval, or it can be written as, so basically, as we discussed above, x is positive, but from the inequality it is less than or equal to 9. So this is the final interval that tells us that where the function is decreasing. So as you can see, sometimes these questions are very straightforward and you just differentiate and then solve the inequality. But in some other cases, there are more complicated things going on. So yeah, you should be very careful about the values of x for which the function is defined. All right, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.